Autumn has arrived in the Mid-Atlantic region of the U.S., and it is a glorious afternoon at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Jackson, first play, going to throw. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. Down the left sideline. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, 76 yards. And the Ravens need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Looking to put a drive together. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Williams going to sneak it. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past him.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about...
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Loss of 5 yards.
Kyle Van Noy in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too. Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Williams. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Andrews' first catch, good for a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson now. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. They go play action with Jackson. That's going deep for Bateman. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. To throw again is Jackson. That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle. His 2nd catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a fourth down.
On fourth down, here's the option. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Over the middle, complete. That's Flowers. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be second down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. Finds his man over the middle. It's likely. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
No sweat from Montez Sweat that time as he makes that stop look easy. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Here's Jackson. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the shot right. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here's 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection, maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Out of bounds at his own 49-yard line.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 2. On play action, here's Williams. He'll get this off to Swift. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting, instead of being aggressive and making plays.
To the air once more, Williams. And that one too wide and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, Williams. There's a short one caught by Loveland. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Williams going to look to throw again. He's got the connection to Moore. Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23.
To number 2, DJ Moore. It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the Ravens' 24-yard line.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and a yard. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Bears are an extra point away from evening this one up. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Quick strike out wide by Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Jackson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
First down.
The best offensive lines I know, they hang together and they don't really make a distinction. The right side of this offensive line, they may ask for a raise after that one because without them, that first down doesn't happen.
Jackson from the shotgun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Flowers. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A first down carry for Henry. Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play.
The 4-3 defense there did its job, funneled things right to the middle linebacker.
If they do a nice job of playing team defense, everyone takes care of their responsibilities. That allows that guy in the middle to do his job, which is search and destroy.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Here's Jackson to throw. A short one there, caught by Likely. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. So that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
This has been a nice sustained drive, and after a run like that, I'd be surprised if they don't come back with even more running plays.
Now it's Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
To throw is Jackson. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Jackson's going to keep it. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
And his kick here is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Stopped by the safety, Kyle Hamilton.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Henry out of the pistol. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Ravens on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Jackson. He'll try to pick it up himself. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man covers were so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
Henry up the middle. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. And now Jackson will look to throw it. A short throw caught by Andrews. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
They went to their big body tight end on second down in hopes that he could plow his way to a first down, but they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
Throwing is Jackson. He'll try and do this himself. He's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys...
Touchdown! Isaiah Likely, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens are able to widen their advantage.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Bears 7.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. To throw, it's Williams. That pass complete to Moore. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the gun, here's Swift. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Williams going to sneak it. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. 1st down.
A gain of 1 yard. 1st down, Chicago.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
2nd down and a yard. Throwing is Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Looking to throw is Williams. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
46-yard line.
Back to the running game with Swift. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
2nd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
Now 2nd and 3. To the air, Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Throwing again here, Williams. He's got room to roam. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
A gain of
19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Here's Williams. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Luther Burden in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. So the late touchdown there, and that certainly changes things as we move toward halftime.
Yeah, and there's a potential for things to change even more because, remember, they get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So they can potentially double up here and take the lead. A great opportunity for them.
Bears 14.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this 3rd quarter. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the 2nd half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
From the 46, here's second down and 8. Running is Swift. Able to avoid him at the 40. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 72 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Swift on the counter. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Williams looking to do it himself, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Henry. And he stopped immediately there. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Now Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Jackson now. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. So no gain on the play. and that'll make it second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. Then he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Here's Jackson. Now he'll tuck this and run. The quick feet by Jackson. Well, the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. Henry is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
And for Jackson, this may be a free play. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Here's another 2nd and goal, this time from half the distance closer. Back to throw. Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens are able to extend their lead. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. To throw, Williams. He's got a man, complete. And down to the 29-yard line. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
On the handoff, this is Swift. Now, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
We've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Williams looking to do it himself, and I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with this 4th down call.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down.
Intercepted. It's a turnover on downs.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Jackson. A short one there, caught by Likely. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Inside handoff, Henry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A short throw caught by Andrews. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 28 yards. And the Ravens add 6 to their lead.
Let's get this point. Come on, 3 more points.
Luke now for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
Ravens 31, Bears 14.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Bears offense ready to get going again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The first down screen pass, good for 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Here's Swift. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Williams going to sneak it. And he will have the Bears first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may be a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, it's Williams. He's got the connection to Moore. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now an option play on 2nd down. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that's the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
33-yard line.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Williams. He finds his man, complete. It's Moore. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
A
3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
touchdown.
DeAndre Swift taking it in from a yard out. And the Bears have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them at the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
21.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. Oh, look at that. And able to get this out to the 25. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Now it's Jackson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and goal.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Williams. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
Just shy of the goal line. A gain of 5 yards brings up 3rd and goal.
Williams going to sneak it. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge. Their D-line surge leading to 4th. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Pass on the crossing route is complete. This is Andrews.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
2nd down and 3. Again to Henry. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out 1st downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. Pushes him over. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play, move on.
Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
A 5-yard gain brings up 2nd down at the 34-yard line.
Throwing is Jackson. His throw incomplete.
Pass intended for Rashad Bateman. Incomplete. Jaquan Brisker there defensively.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. And getting this just shy in midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a 1st down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. Running from the gun with Henry. Runs through the contact. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 24-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
Runs over it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not an inning rush offensively. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Jackson will keep it. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
That's good for a Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Jackson going to run. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So offensively on this drive, 2 of 2 on 3rd downs, and now they face a 3rd and inches. Jackson's going to try the sneak. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run for it with Henry. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. On his loop for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Ravens 38, Bears 24.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So now the Bears down by 2 touchdowns. 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. The 2-minute warning, that's going to be their only chance to stop the clock. So they'll need to move quickly here on first down. To throw, it's Williams. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
At the 34-yard line.
Throwing is Williams. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Well, they'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. To the air, Williams. There's a short one caught by Loveland. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
Looking to throw is Williams. Over the middle, that's to Loveland, the tight end.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
Well, there's still hope, but it's dwindling fast. No timeouts left. They need 2 scores still. 1st and 10 here. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
48-yard line.
This is 1st and 10. Here's Williams. He's going to let it fly. Oh, and that is incomplete.
And while it's probably going to take a miracle at this stage, if they come down with this one in the end zone, they've still got a fighting chance. That one, however, winds up incomplete.
Just over 30 seconds remain. Here's 2nd and 10 now. To the air once more, Williams. Now he'll tuck this and run. Williams loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Recovered by the Ravens.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaunt. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.